Do you find it hard to stop snacking throughout the day? Maybe an hour after you've eaten and you're snacking on something and you think, what the heck, why am I snacking? I just had a big meal. This was me for decades. That's one reason I yo-yo dieted. I didn't realize I was snacking so much. Learning about intermittent fasting 2 years ago was so eye-opening to me because I realized, oh, that's actually what I'm doing throughout the day. Sometimes 5 or 10 times I was snacking. And then I also learned about the fact that if you have a sweetened drink and you're sipping on it, every time you take a sip, you're snacking. And oh my goodness, that was mind-blowing. I think it was Dr. Robert Syway's video on YouTube about carb addiction and sugar addiction and stuff that was the first time that I really realized, oh yeah, that makes sense. So then you're getting these insulin spikes up and down, and if you have too much insulin, you put on the weight. So snacking is a big thing, or was a big thing for me to have to deal with, think about, analyze, evaluate, write down, journal, all of those things to realize this is a big part of my life and it's contributing to me being obese. So how did I stop snacking? The first thing I did was to skip breakfast. So I was already used to maybe pushing my breakfast further and further, and then I started to push it till noon, push it till 1, push it till 2 o'clock. And then I only had a shorter amount of time before bed that I could eat and snack and do all of those things. And so that was, I think, the very first thing that I remember doing that helped push me into this understanding the intermittent fasting. And then the next thing was snacking, dealing with the snacking and realizing, okay, if I push my first meal till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I'm snacking at 2:30 and 3 and 3:30 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and then going to bed, I've had multiple meals. If each of those count as a mini meal in terms of my body doesn't know that it's a snack in comparison to a meal. It sees that all the same. You're putting food and nutrition into your body. So doing the intermittent fasting, pushing that window helped me have less time in the day to actually snack. Then I could think about the snacking part and say, okay, what am I going to replace this sugary smoothie, this double coffee from Tim Hortons, this, whatever I was drinking. I could replace that with 0 carb, 0 sugar, 0 alcohol drinks, and slowly wean myself off of that. And then taking the sugars out. Once you have less sugar in your body, you will crave less sugar. It's very, very linked. The less sugar you eat, the less you'll crave, meaning you'll eat less sugar. It's a great upward spiral. Whereas if you eat more sugar, you'll crave more sugar, and it's like a downward spiral. That's how I have experienced it so many times. Decades worth of yo-yo dieting. In order to reduce the amount of snacking you are doing, I recommend learning about the intermittent fasting part and pushing your breakfast later in the day. That would be tip number 1. Tip number 2 would be start replacing what you used to snack on. Maybe it's chips, maybe it's chocolate, candy bars, or those drinks that have carbs and sugar in them. Start replacing those with fewer carb items. It could be even fruit. Fruit has fiber in it, which means it delays how it's digested, which means you don't get such an insulin spike. Fruit was very, very important to me when we lived in Brazil. We ate fruit every day, lots and lots of fruit. It was very readily available year-round. And growing up on a farm, we had fruit that we harvested in the fall, ate all the winter long. Fruit was very much a part of my life, still is a part of my life. It's nutritious, and I just have to limit it a little bit, but overall I don't overeat on it, and so it's okay to keep in my diet. If you're truly keto, can't have any fruit. Not a very fun way to live, so I don't eat keto very often because it's frickin' boring. So fruit is another thing that you can use to replace something that is higher in carbs, higher in sugar. If you want to snack on it, have some blueberries, have some strawberries, have whatever fruit you have available, and eat that instead of the chocolate bar, instead of the bowl of chips, instead of the popcorn, instead of the drink that's high in sugar. Snacking is something you got to figure out for yourself. Try different things. I tried so many different things, found some things that worked, found some things that didn't work, and I just kept tweaking and tweaking and tweaking it as I was losing the weight. There's not a hard and fast rule for this for everybody because everyone's different. Everyone's situation is different. So try different things, see what works to help reduce the snacking. And if I can do it, if I can lose 80 frickin' pounds, I feel anybody can do it. If I can change my habits after 40 years of yo-yo dieting, I feel anybody can do this. Seriously. Watch some more of my videos if you want to learn more about it. You can also get my book on Amazon. And thanks for watching. This is the book I wrote after I lost 80 pounds, and I wanted to share it with the world because I finally solved my yo-yo dieting dilemma. It's available on Amazon. I have it in color, black and white, hardcover, or the paperback version, and also Kindle. I'm hoping to record the audio version of it for an audiobook, so get your copy today on Amazon.